Obviously, yesterday Sasha really nailed the kind of whole ANN7 thing, right?
Everybody nails ANN7.
Yeah, but Sasha really, like, on the station, he took it to pieces, and he was immaculate at it. If you haven't heard his rant, you must go and check it out. They put it up as a podcast, but it was fantastic.
Where do we find the podcast? Tell us.
I
Be informative.
It's on the website. It's on the
website.
Yeah.
Gears. It's Ball's website under Gears. Yes, look at us.
Professionals.
Reading sign language and understanding it, everything.
We're only half as unprofessional as ANN7 themselves.
ANN7.
Sorry, yes, ANN7. I don't care. But the thing about me that Sasha didn't touch, the thing that I love the most about ANN7 wasn't actually the mistakes. Everybody can make mistakes. I mean, we've been making
the multitude of mistakes.
Yeah. Anybody can make a multitude of errors, but it takes somebody really like up their own butt to make those mistakes and then to jump up and down on the people who called them out for them. Like, if people sent me a thing and were like, man, you're really rubbish on the desk. Yeah, I totally am. I'm very sorry. I'm rubbish on the desk. But
I'm going to send that now for the record. Yeah,
okay.
Carry on.
Good. But anyway, so this shame for Sheena Deepnarain. She
is it Sheena Deepnarain, not Sheena Deepnarain? Because that would be a great porn name. And she's there in her underwear. I'm just saying.
Narnia.
Look at how Narain. Yeah. She could just call herself.
She says it's her. I mean, this is a beautiful thing.
Hold on. Let's just take a moment here, because we have to appreciate, before we slag her off, she is quite hot, and she's posing there in underwear, right, and then asking us to take her seriously as a newsreader.
Her page says public figure Sheena D.
Sheena D.
She's not stealing anything from Jeannie, though.
No,
totally
not
different.
at all. No, because Jeannie is much more talented up front. Let's be honest. I mean, I'm not knocking Sheena.
We're not talking about her actual talent here, are we, Chris?
We're talking about both of her talents. She has the most...
a bountiful amount of talent.
Yes.
Right. Okay, anyway, so Sheena D.
Sheena D, a.k.a. can we just call her Sheena Deep?
Yeah, Sheena Deep has got a little bio here, and it says public figure. Sheena D may be well known for modeling. I didn't know that. I didn't know, but it's actually a full-time actress by profession.
She could be. I'm sure she's in some movies that you could find on some R-rated websites. I would watch that.
Yeah,
I would.
I think people would in general. But she may be well known as a model, but she's actually a full-time actress, and now she's a news presenter on ANN7. But the thing about her, like, and the reason why we're picking on her specifically, is because unlike the other presenters who had the decency to be ashamed of their station, they've already had one journalist retire. Like, one journalist has actually quit 4 days into broadcasting the station. So a lot of people who work there are a little bit embarrassed about what's going on, right?
Yes. Well, anyone who's South African who's watched it is a little bit embarrassed about what's going on.
Yes. Now, Sheena, I don't know if you heard, but it all made Tosh.0 last night.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate when you're that cuck that you're on an show,
international Comedy Central show
about cuck internet clips.
Yeah.
How bad are we?
So it didn't only top out as bad TV, it topped out as bad internet as well. That's why it was on. I mean, that's how terrible ANN7 is. Anyway, so the reason we're picking on poor Sheena Deep, is because, unlike these other embarrassed presenters, Sheena went and sat down and wrote an incredibly long grammatic, like, clusterfuck, effectively, of a note, damning all of us for making fun of the channel. And I'm gonna read this thing to you guys, because I think you need to understand just how terrible this is. If you haven't had an opportunity to read it, be prepared for a moment of majesty.
Yes.
She titled it #ANN7, and she said, with all the cynicism going around #ANN7 at this point, I've decided to add my bit. Read it, don't read it, take it from it, or don't. I just needed to get it out there. Oh, we'll read it.
Before you carry on, I just want to add that she does have lovely bits.
Yes. We like it when she puts her bit out there.
Yes.
Yes. For the record, I'm proud to be part of the ANN team, Channel 405 DSTV. Good, all right. I mean, fine. Oh, well, it's embarrassing. I'd be embarrassed a little bit.
I'm proud to be on LOLs on balls. I'm a little bit embarrassed to be associated with you.
Well, there you go. You see, that's honest. That's honest.
There we go.
She says, having worked in the industry for just over a decade, she doesn't say which industry. I think it's prostitution.
I think modeling, or maybe
right.
she's worked as a presenter for just over a decade, and this is the pinnacle now.
Well, she says in the industry. I think
Okay.
you only call it the industry if it is actually prostitution, but whatever. She says, my industry friends and I know how difficult the road has been.
Sorry.
Sorry, it's
Warren's
really difficult to read
remedial class reading.
No, it's really difficult to read this. You see, she puts in commas and stuff where there aren't any, and
Yes.
she puts the words in the wrong order. So you have to kind of muster through it. Not because there isn't talent out there, but because the opportunities are few and far apart. Few and
Yes.
far between, I believe is the saying. But there was a need for someone or some company to take that chance and invest in the youth of the media and entertainment industry, and that was ANN7. I can't imagine why they did that. Perhaps it was because they have zero budget, as opposed to because
They
they
have
believe in the youth.
Loads of budget.
Yeah,
I think because it's the Guptas. Those guys are not short on money.
Yeah, but you don't make a lot of money by spending money casually,
Yes, but
flippantly.
I guarantee you they're going to get some government advertising on that channel
yeah.
really soon.
Yeah.
And look, if I was going to hire some people to work for me, I would hire the Sheena Deep types in exchange for.
Yes, Chris, we know exactly how I got my job.
Yes.
Anyway, right. She says,
Yes, that just shows the difference in perks.
yes,
The Guptas hire Sheena D, underwear model. I hire Warren Robertson,
underwear model
struggling part-time comedian.
and underwear model.
And well,
FHM, if you're listening.
hand model, because he told me he had done a lot of hand jobs. So continue, please.
And for that, I'm grateful to ANN7 and admire ANN7. She says, let me explain, ... Take a bunch of graduates from a graduate class at an arts and culture college, for example, in South Africa. What is arts and culture college?
I don't know. I think it's arts and culture would be possibly.
Oh,
Where I would
is
go
that
with
what
that.
she means? Right, good. Say 20 graduated. How many are actually working in the industry that they plan to work in? In entertainment, probably 2 to 5 out of 20. Because in this industry, there are not enough opportunities. And with the cost of living out there, hustling isn't an option for many.
Well,
We need some sort of
Sheena,
stable
I can see
income.
you as a hustler model any day.
Yes, but anyway, so what she's effectively saying is a lot of people graduate from arts and culture colleges and do not have the time to go out and hustle. And it was them that ANN7 plucked.
Just as
Yeah.
a thing for me.
Right.
If I was gonna select a good-looking, I might do some sort of a screen test and say, "Can you read an auto cue?" You
Yeah.
know, because that's one of the skills. But I feel that Sheena, because I actually haven't seen her on the clip. I haven't watched the station. I've just seen the tweets and stuff. I feel that swallowing might be her top skill, and reading an auto cue might be down at number 20.
Chris Forrest trying to get himself sued. She says a lot of people who invest years of going to auditions, studying drama, journalism, etc., turn to other careers, not because they want to, but because they sadly have to.
Because they sadly have to.
Yeah.
What did you study, Warren?
I studied journalism.
There you go. And here you are. So you don't have. You're one of the 2
radio
out of
is-
20. Look at you.
Yeah, I know.
Beating the odds, Warren Robertson.
And still being inept. Anyway, she says ANN7 believed in the youth and went on a massive recruitment campaign to hire graduates within the industry and invest in them and provide them with a much-needed platform. I didn't hear about this.
Do you know that E-News, just to
Yeah.
tell you the difference, they did dry runs for something like 10 months before they went 24 hours live.
Right.
And ANN did it for a week.
It doesn't show.
It doesn't show at all.
It doesn't show. Anyway, right. Well, no, I can believe that. Look, let's not give them any excuses for why they're so terrible. I mean, that sounds to me like an excuse.
No, I personally, I think this Sheena Deep, whatever,
Yeah.
is fantastic. And if she did the news dressed like she is in her profile picture, I would definitely watch.
In fact, let's make an offer today to
Let's-
Sheena Deep. Sheena Deep, if you're
Does
out
she have
there,
a Twitter handle on
Yeah.
there?
No. Sheena Deep, if you're out there and you're listening to Bulls Radio, if you are looking for an opportunity, we are looking for a lady in her underwear to read the news.
And just remember,
Here on Lols
you
at
can beat the
Bulls.
stats again because you'll have 2 jobs. I'm actually going to search for her on Twitter as we speak. So pardon me if I'm not looking at you.
No, that's fine.
Spell her surname for me.
Ooh,
It's Deep-
DEEPN
Yeah, PN
AR
AR
AIN.
AIN.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm going to tell her she inspires me. she raises me up.
Good. Anyway, right. Whilst there is a vast number of errors and mistakes,
There we go. Miss Sheena D. Have
Yeah.
that on Twitter.
Whilst there is a vast number of errors and mistakes, Christopher Forrest,
Yes.
South Africa is really watching ANN7 revolutionize an industry that needed it, mistakes and all.
Yes, somebody said they've got more YouTube hits than they do viewers.
They got a coverage on social media because of people talking about them of 37 million people have seen something connected to ANN7 on the internet.
Now that Daniel Tosh has put it out there, because
Yeah, it's even more.
there's
yeah.
millions that watch him.
Yeah, and it's even more. Anyway, she says, in a few years down the line, when the channel has overcome this negative road and is successful, which I do believe it will be, this has basically just become Martin Luther King. The people who stood by it would stand by the saying, stand for something or fall for... I'm not sure what that sentence means. Anyway, and she says, and I stand for ANN7 along with the rest of the hard-working team of ANN7. I mean, look, if you want to get promoted, this is the way to go. Some sort of loud, social, open letter. Why do people write so many open letters these days? What's the deal with that?
Envelopes are expensive.
Yeah, and what? Just putting it on Facebook is...
On Facebook, because everyone's got a platform. That's the problem with like what you call it, social media and all of this crap. It's creating narcissists like Sheena D. But I'm going to stop saying mean things about it because now I'm going to tweet.
Because we wanted to do lingerie
news for us
on lols at balls. Offer a job doing lingerie news on lols at balls. At ANN7, she says we value valid critics, not like you peasants out there. We value valid critics. But like a lot of what is going on is that people are making fun of news anchors. Presenters. I'm not surprised they can't read this live on air. This is impossible. If she's writing this, then I'm not surprised she can't read this loud. Yeah, anyway, news anchors, presenters, etc., who were brave enough to put their heads on the line and pave the path for others to follow down the line, and this saddens me. So people are putting their heads on the line, and then other people are following that line. No, people are getting stood on their head, I think. I think is what she's saying. I don't really understand. Even though you spend years studying, theory for me in this industry probably gets you to complete 20% of the job. The rest, brackets 80%, is achieved by practicality. Most aren't exposed to practicality, and now that they are given the opportunity, the country sits back and laughs. You can see she's gotten quite emotional by this point, because at the beginning of the letter, it was grammatically incorrect, but at least it made sense. And now you can almost see the tears on the Facebook screen. Most aren't exposed to practicality, and now that they are given the opportunity, the country sits back and laughs when really these young people should be encouraged, as they will only improve with practice as it comes by being provided with this opportunity.
I want to say, Sheena, deep, I feel your pain. I feel you wholeheartedly, because I studied sports management, and people don't take me seriously as a sportsman.
No, or as a manager.
Well,
Particularly not a fantasy league football
They
teams.
did for a while. I was the manager of the P&A in Cresta. Late sales, Sunday nights and Friday nights. So they took me seriously then, sometimes, when they were complaining.
Right.
But I take Sheena Deep very seriously.
Anyway, so she concludes rather tearfully with all that said, say what you want now about ANN7. Comment, hate, but ANN7 is the start of great things to come.
And our good friend Daniel Friedman has got the second comment on there. Please read it.
He says, I think you're 100% right. ANN7 is revolutionizing the industry. For too long, SA media has been held back by competence and professionalism that really ruins the entertainment value of the news broadcast. Watching ANN7, it's hard not to laugh, even when it's a news story about murder. And that's really the point, isn't it? ANN7 has allowed South Africans to laugh at the news again, something that's sorely needed in a country where the news is generally very depressing. So good for you guys. Please don't any of you learn how to do your jobs properly and ruin the refreshing mediocrity that makes ANN7 great.
Well said, Mr. Friedman.
Yeah, 48 likes. Her actual update, 15 likes. Yeah, and then there's just loads and loads of comments from South Africa. Oh, wait, she's got an update remark here. I haven't read this yet. Let's see what it says. It says, hi, everyone. Just to clear a few things. I am not a news anchor for ANN7. I said that out the way. I'm being misquoted. I did not say ANN7 is revolutionizing the media industry. Yes, you did. What I'm trying to say is that we are a work in progress.
I'm bored of her already. Can we look at her pictures again?
Well, she only got 3 likes. Shame. Anyway, if you want to see her update, it's all still available there. She says this article was not a personal article; it was my diplomatic view. So she's like, oh, whoa, I don't really think this. I'm being nice.
Well, I think well done, Sheena D. Well done for sticking up for what you believe in.
Yes.
And then retracting it.
She's actually come on here quite a few times with a large number of emoticons to argue with a guy by the name of Anton Decker. It becomes a bit of a a bit of a mess after that. But that was my favorite part of the whole ANN7 debacle. Like I'm loving Sheena's open letter.
I'm loving Sheena's open. But have I mentioned that yet?
No, Chris, no, you haven't. That's amazing. Thanks very much for bringing it to our attention.
Yes, there we go. I'd like Sheena D to come in and also read news on our show.
Yeah, so if you know Sheena D, we're giving her the opportunity that many young people aren't given in this day and age.
No, we are giving you the fabulous opportunity, firstly, to work with one extremely talented person and Warren, and also to read the news on a platform where there is no news. And
we can have news. We could have news if we wanted.
We could, but now we could even have music if we wanted.